Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Sammāsaṅkappa. So, today we shall talk about this topic: precise right aiming without attachment. The word right aiming in English, in Buddhist terms, it was an old translation for Sammāsaṅkappa, right thought. But later, more frequently, people use the right thought. So this right aiming, almost we don't use anymore. But I was a bit curious. One old translator translate as right aim, right aiming, Sammāsaṅkappa. The cetasika, the mental state for this Sammāsaṅkappa is actually vitakka. Initial application, frequently translated as initial application. Right thought. The thought which is free from craving, anger, cruelty. The thought full of love, loving kindness, compassion. Like that. This is right thought. But strictly speaking, it is free from, avoid the sensual desire kind of thinking, anger, and cruelty. That's right thought. But the ancient translator also translate as a right aiming. Right aim. In one sense, this right aiming it makes sense also as a translation. It's also good, especially in meditation. Because the word vitakka, initial application, applying the mind directly on the object, is very much involved in our meditation. I shall talk about it in the later part. But let us talk about the general way. When we talk about aim, you talk about having a goal. You aim your goal, you have a target. Is it right thought? In one sense also correct. You apply your mind on something, on an object. On an object. But so for this talk, I would use this word more freely for general application and for meditation application. General application means when we have our goal, it is very important in the Dhamma, we have a clear, defined goal, clear idea about it, clear definition. What is your goal? The right goal, and you aim correctly. If you aim wrongly, because why? When we aim something, we make a wish or whatever, then all our merits get garnered and collected towards that direction. Towards that direction. So, if we have a very scattered aiming, we want this, we want that, we want everything, then you notice very difficult to achieve anything because our aiming is scattered. So in this way, I use extra word, precise. You have a clear idea. Some people, they strive, they meditate, they work hard, but they don't have a very clear idea what they want. They don't have a very clear idea what they want. Yeah, of course, we also welcome when people come here, sometimes just for comfort. Life is so harsh. Too much pressure, work pressure, too much workload. We have to find a place to take a break from the hectic life. Okay, fine. That's also good. Whatever reason you come into the Dhamma is always good. Always good. But if you really aspire to go high, to achieve high in this life, you don't want to squander this precious human life. You want to make best use of this opportunity given to you by this human life. Then please don't scatter your attention. Have a right aiming and be precise. Now how? Some people say, oh, Bhante, Nibbana is too general. I don't understand what's Nibbana. How to aim for Nibbana? When we teach other people, teach everyone to make aspiration. Idang me punyang Nibbana sapacaya hotu. May this marriage be a supporting condition for my realization of Nibbana. So what is Nibbana? So that's why you often hear me explain it in a very simple way. Pure happiness. Oh, okay, then you feel 清净的快乐, pure happiness, Nibbana. So, something. But the Buddha used even simpler terms. The Buddha used, instead of sometimes using Nibbana, the Buddha used the cessation of craving, cessation of suffering. Now then everyone is understand. You see? Everyone understand. Because you may not understand Nibbana, but you know how it is good not to have suffering. Not to have causes of suffering. So that's enough. But sometimes there's one friend, he told me, I don't like to put in negative terms. I like positive terms. Words positive. I like happiness. I don't want to say free from suffering. I want achieving happiness. Okay, in that sense. So after hearing his saying, then nowadays I usually tell people, oh, let's aspire for this Nibbana, the pure happiness. So you have an idea. But still, it may not be clear enough. So, what can you do? If you find Nibbana is still a very vague, blur idea. So, what can you do? Sometimes, you can have a general idea. I just want to end suffering. Then have a closer idea. Closer ideal. What can you aspire? One of my students aspire to realize dependent origination. She says, I want to know dependent origination. I want to know how my past condition my present. She wants to know. Then only I'll plan my future. Not wrong also, no? Quite good. So I say, okay, that's fine. You cannot say you fix a future now because you don't even understand what life is, how to fix a future. Then it is okay to say, now I want to go to the summit, the mountain top. After that, I will look down. When I have a clear view of life, then I will go for it. I don't want to decide what I want in my life, what I want for my future. But I just want to see clearer about what life is. I want to go to the mountain top. Fine. That's also a good way. At least there's a strong drive to push you on to the mountain top, to the summit. That's also clear aim. Because it is not realistic to want everyone to aspire for something that you don't really see and know. So at least you should aspire to see enough before you decide further. That's also correct. Some people also like that. During the Buddha's time, many people attain arahantship that way also, no? There's one monk and there's one person. He was like a fortune teller. He was like a fortune teller, some kind of fortune teller. If you give him a skull, skull, the bone, head bone, skull, he just touch, he can tell where this person has been reborn. He's so good. He's so good in it. There's some kind of, in India, they have all sorts of technique, all sorts of special knowledge. And this guy, he knew. When he touched the skull, he knew where it will be reborn. Then the Buddha gave him the skull of an arahant. Not all arahant pass away with burn or all relics. No, not necessary. This is also a relic. What do you know? Do you know what's the meaning of relics? When we talk about relics, we always talk about the small relics. No, not necessary. The word relics, sarira, it actually refers to our bone. The leftover after you get cremated, the leftover is called relics, sarira. And then, so these also relics, Allah's relics, the skull the Buddha gave to him. Tell where this person has been reborn. Can you tell? Then he just tell, he touched his book. Nowhere he couldn't find. Strange, with all his power, fortune-telling power, he couldn't tell where this person, is reborn. Of course he cannot tell, because Arhat never get reborn. So he said, please teach me how to know. I want to know. Teach you how to know. Then the Buddha saw that this fellow is a good potential for Arahant. In 7 days he could become Arahant. Very good potential. So the Buddha said, this technique we don't teach outsiders. We don't teach outsiders. So he said, okay. But then I will become a monk. Yeah. So he wanted to learn the technique, he wanted to become a monk. Okay, the Buddha allowed him to become a monk, a bhikkhu. And he strived very hard, he meditated very hard. And 7 days later, he became Arahant. No more wanting to this technique of to know the skull or Arahant and where the Arahant be reborn. No need already. So you see, it is possible. People have a short-term aim. The aim is only to get a very worldly knowledge. But at the end, achieve high. So, from our experience, there are a lot of stories like that. Some people, the aim is just to fill up the stomach. A monk got a lot of food, enough food to eat. There's a lay person, poor guy, I don't get food to eat. So some people become monk like that. Then once you become monk, but the key is meditate hard, sincerely, wholeheartedly, and eventually became Arahant. So that's why sometimes I say, well, I really don't mind for whatever reason you come in, you ordain, whatever. But the important thing is, what I care is not how high you aim. What I care is, once you come in, are you doing the right job? If you are doing the right courses, you will end up in the right result, with the right result. But anyway, if a person has very clear goal and aiming, then it's easy for the person to move on and to generate all necessary requisites towards that direction. So, right aiming is very useful. So some aspire for what? For jhana, first jhana. Some people look at the chart, the Pao chart. The stupa? They have the stupa where in this samatha vipassana practice, how you proceed one after another. Some people look at it, well, finish. How can I learn everything? So hard. I can't even succeed in anapanasati. No, not so difficult. I always encourage them. The difficulty for most people is first jhana only. Why? Why first jhana it takes so long? Some people take so many years to achieve first jhana. But after first jhana, then within few months, all the meditation progress so quickly. Yeah, recently we have our student progress very quickly. Shoot up from one point to another, just within months, weeks and months. Like that. So sometimes it takes long time to achieve the first jhana. Why? Because before first jhana, yogis are hindered, heavily hindered by 5 hindrances. Sensual desire, sensual pleasures, we call craving, kamaraga, vyapada, the anger, hatred, and then the sleepy mind, sloth and torpor, and then restlessness and remorse, and then skeptical doubt. Is it the right practice for me? Can I achieve it? Do I have hope to achieve, to attain in this life? All these things. So when people meditate, the mind cannot work efficiently on the object. But after first jhana, it's no more the same. Actually, the practice is not difficult. In fact, it's very simple. But difficult because we are hindered by defilements, hindrances. So once you can remove the first defilements, the 5 hindrances by first jhana, it becomes much easier. Then you work efficiently. Because of that efficient effort, people's practice shoot up very quickly. So there's a very clear scientific explanation for it. Why people are slow? Slow because they are hindered by so many concerns, so many cravings, so many wantings, so many goals. But once you zoom in, after you conquer all the hindrances, then suddenly you work efficiently. Then you change from one meditation object to another meditation object. No more so difficult. It becomes easy. Okay? So, that's it. Now, precise, right aiming. Of course, some people, they have their life goal, aim, you can also use. But in the Noble Eightfold Path, when it refers to Sammāsaṅkappa, it refers to the quality, the vitakka, the mental state, or vitakka, the initial application. Then focus on the meditation, either samatha meditation or vipassana meditation. If it's anapanasati, and the breath, beginning is our breath, in breath and out breath, in a single touching point. Then after that, either here, or bigger or smaller, it doesn't matter. Important thing is you feel clear about it. Some right nostril, some left nostril, sometimes left and sometimes right. It can be changing. So that's all. If you practice anapana, if you practice metta meditation or karuna meditation, compassion or loving kindness, you have an object. A person, taking beginning a person, later you can use a lot of beings, but at beginning one person. Then you focus. You don't suddenly change this and change that, and then the mind gets dissipated. So you focus on one precise aim correctly and give your love and wishes to the person. So that's also the right aiming. Important thing is be single-minded, be precise and continuous. And when we talk about precise aiming, sometimes I told people to be so precise that people had a headache. So some later I know no longer. I let the precision comes along the way. But precision is helpful. Precision is helpful. Precise right aiming. If you can aim precisely, then very quickly nimitta arises and then you can get concentration. But when people try to be very precise in an unnatural way, you force yourself. You force yourself, squeeze your muscles and force yourself. And then very often these things happen. Because you have too much wanting. Then the craving, lobha cetasika, the greed arise. So that's why in today's topic we say precise right aiming without attachment. Precise right aiming without attachment. When you pay attention to your breath, be precise. Where you have to pay attention. Some people, they want to follow the breath in and out and go down abdomen. No, that is Qigong. That's not Anapanasati. You need to know the science. If you know the science of this samatha practice, then you know why you need to apply your mind in this way. What is the science? What is the science for the arising of absorption or concentration? Continuous focusing on an unchanging object for a long time. Again, continuous focusing on an object for a long time. Because you need to let your mind keep repeating the attention on the same thing again and again and again, untiringly, again and again. So sometimes we tell you to be happy, feel good about it, have a little joy and respect towards your practice, so that your mind can easier to stay on it continuously, repetitively, again, every thought process repeating itself on the same object. But now people may ask the question: in breath and out breath are changing. So if they are changing, how can I focus on the same object again and again? They are changing. Look at it properly. We are focusing on the breath on a stable, fixed, single point for a long time. You are focusing on the same point again and again. Even though the breath may be in and out, but you are like the doorkeeper. People come in and out, but the doorkeeper stay at the door. So in the same way, you pay attention, the breath may go in and out, but, brushing the same point. But you focus on the same point and the air in and out the same point. So because of that, even though the object may be in breath and out breath and changing, but because you focus on the same point, so relatively it is stable. So because of some kind of stability, the mind comes down. Then the unique thing about Anapanasati, in-breath and out-breath mindfulness on breathing, is that when you pay attention continuously on one point, your mind comes down. When your mind comes down, look at the effect on the breath. The breath stabilizes, quiet down, calm down, and become more subtle. Fine, very fine. That is the nature unique of Anapanasati. It is different if you use abdomen or other object. The most other object in our body, the more you pay attention, the more you see arising and passing away or changing. But breathing is very unique. It's very special. It's affected by our mind. A dead person has no breathing. We breathe because we are alive. And we breathe. Put aside fourth jhana. We don't talk about fourth jhana. We talk about before that. Then you have breathing. When we are alive, you have breathing. Fourth jhana, no breathing. Then you have breathing. So when you breathe, you focus on it because of stability. Then it calms down. Then the breathing becomes more and more subtle, for samatha. For vipassana, you can see arising and passing away even in the breathing. But for samatha, you see the mind come down. Then when the mind comes down, the breath becomes more subtle. When the breath becomes more subtle, it is more difficult to follow, right? If you are a conscientious yogi, you tend to pay more attention to it. Happily, relax with it. But more attention, more mindfulness. Because it's so subtle, it's become more and more fine until it almost disappear. You focus more carefully. There must be breathing there. Very fine. You focus more attentively. Then because of that, more precise focusing, more sharp mindfulness, and more tranquility in your mind, then the breathing becomes even more subtle, up to a point like it want to disappear. But be patient at that time. Don't try to arouse your breathing and make it gross. No, that's the wrong way. In fact, the subtle breath is very useful. Then there's a transition period. From the subtle breath, nimitta arise, light appear. Why? Because at that time, your mind develops the ability to see like the eye. The mind has the ability to see like the eye conscious, to take over the role of eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness. The mind can function all this. So naturally it changed. The mind developed the ability. And because of concentration, also the energy generate more energy. Because of Citta Jarupa, Uttu Jarupa, these things. Later you will know more when you do the Namarupa Pariccheda Jnana. But because of concentration and calm and clear awareness, clear knowing, Chinese will say 了了分明, clear knowing, and in a relaxed way, happily. That is a skill you need to do. You need to be able to focus so sharply without tension, in a relaxed way, in a happy manner. That is a skill. Many people, when they want to focus, they force themselves, then tension arises. Headache. The skill is this. The skill is to be happy as if you are drawn to it. When we look at a lotus flower, very beautiful, you are drawn to the lotus flower. Do you need to have a lot of attention to pay attention to the lotus flower for a long time? No. It is so beautiful. Some people like to look at gold. They like to look at diamond and gem, whatever. You see, there are certain things in life that we like so much, we can focus and look at it with so much attention, with so much focus and absorption. So similarly, you tell yourself, I want to apply that kind of mindset on the breathing because it's so precious. I can only have breathing when I am alive. If I die, I won't have breathing. And it is the key, the first key, leading to more treasures. So because of that, I should respect it and love it and have a good feeling and feel good about it. So if you can do like that, then nimitta arise. You see the color of the breath. Then nimitta arise. It manifests in various ways. Some people a little bit here, some people whole face, some people all over the body, some people all over everywhere. Yeah, some people's nimitta can be like that. But the same thing among them, the common is that all these nimitta are superimposed with your breath. It can be big or small. It can have different color, it doesn't matter. Due to perception, sanya, you can have. Important thing is it overlaps, superimposed, it covers your breath here. It can be whole body, but it covers here. Covers. So that also can cover the whole body, also can. Sometimes very small, also okay. Then you focus. It can be big, but focus here. Don't go and lose yourself in the big object. Then your concentration may fall. At this stage, you are not in the kasina yet. Not in the anapana stage. Kasina is different, different principle. By the time you reach kasina, your concentration is already on another level. But right now, when you first step over the threshold into concentration absorption, or near absorption, at that time, play safe. Don't follow the big object. Follow the small nimitta. There. If the nimitta is big also, here, focus. Take this as an anchor. So that your mind doesn't sway here and there, up, down, no. Here. So you go focus here, then you become very calm and peaceful. If it is, some people, the first time the nimitta appear, already stable. Some people, the first time nimitta appear, not stable. It takes a long time to stabilize. Mainly because of energy. Mainly because if you have a strong energy, then they tend to not easy to calm down. If the mind is more calm, inclined towards tranquility, usually the nimitta stabilize very quickly. Okay? So you pay attention. If you change a lot, don't pay attention to changing object. Remember the principle of samatha meditation? Continuous focusing on a stable object for a long time. 长时间在一个稳定的目标上安住。So as long as actually this practice is so simple. Don't care what you see, the bodhisattva coming here, or ghost coming to you, the naga, or whatever. Whatever you see, not related to you. Don't pay attention. But no need to push them away. Just say, well, it's not my job. My job is here. So if you can do like that, very simple. Only two possibilities. One is the breath. Keep following the breath before the nimitta take over. When can the nimitta take over? When the nimitta is stable. When the nimitta is quiet. When the nimitta doesn't change. But some people say, oh, Bhante, look at the nimitta become even brighter. That is stable. That is stable. Because it's natural that when you focus correctly, you become stronger. That is stable. But if you become weaker, or you flicker here and there, unstable, or move here and there, or the color change, that's not stable. So don't take an unstable object as object. Because aramana pacayo. When you take an unstable object, the mind tends to be unstable. You see? So you see, at the beginning of breathing in and out, we focus on one point to induce the stability. But once the nimitta appear, then if it is not stable yet, you focus on it, then your mind becomes unstable. Then the meaning will disappear or change even faster. But if you focus on continue to be just a little bit more patient, another 20 minutes, another 30 minutes only. Just focus on, be patient. Focus on your breath. Until nimitta stabilize, sometimes even 10 minutes, depends. Then you focus on it, you become brighter or stable, same, then focus. Now, without attachment, how to know you are attached or not attached? If you focus so hard until you tense up your body, tense up your facial muscles, or until you got headache, then you must have some attachment there. If you are relaxed, usually this won't happen. That's why for modern yogis, we apply some technique which is not in the meditation proper. It is, for example, you have strong desire to meditate, very strong craving to meditate. You want to quickly achieve quick progress. What do? I don't allow you to meditate. I allow you to let go, be like the space. 放空, 放松, be like space, everything. Then let everything come and pass. The more you want to meditate, the more I hold you back. No, don't hurry. Why? To remove your craving. So that you can make a right effort. If you make effort with craving, there's a problem. So if you can be natural and let yourself be drawn by interest and respect to the object, then you usually have no tension. You don't have physical tension. You don't have mental tension. You don't get frustration. You don't get frustrated when you don't progress. You are just so patient. You just work on the causes without any attachment to the result. Very relaxed. Detach. That's the correct way. Some people who are more mindful and mind is sharp, they can be aware of their attachment when the attachment arises. But some no. Some if their mind not sharp, they have to judge by a result. Judge by a result. Because attachment will give you bad result. Craving, disappointment, disheartened feeling. Disenchanted with your practice. You want to go out, you want to give up. You want to find excuses to think, to run away. All these things are because when we have craving, you have disappointment. You have the side effect. But if you have a pure heart, you meditate with a pure heart. I just want to purify my mind. Why should I have all the craving and anxiety? No, just do your job only. Peacefully. Simple. You don't have that kind of side effect. You don't have the side effect. So now, after that, if you can check your attachment, the moment you know your attachment, don't blame yourself, don't scold yourself. Just say, oh, I know my attachment is coming. Enough. Because knowing the attachment itself is a purifying force. It has a purifying effect on your mind just by knowing the problem. Because the ability to know the problem is wisdom, is mindfulness, is wholesome mind. And then the wholesome mind and the unwholesome mind doesn't work together. It doesn't appear in one single thought process. If you know Abhidhamma, not appear in one single thought process. The thought process of wisdom cannot have craving. The thought process of craving cannot have wisdom. But some people feel, oh, I'm wise, I'm intelligent, and I'm craving at the same time. No, not at the same time. Not in the same process. Just intermittent, in between, or in mix. Just like when we see, we don't hear. When we hear, we don't see. But we feel we are seeing and hearing at the same time. Next time when you practice up to the Namarupa stage, Nama Kammatthana, the meditation on mentality. And then you see the thought process precisely. You don't have idle thought process and idle thought process appearing in one single moment. Not possible. But because it works so fast, so quick, you feel that you are seeing and hearing and working and thinking at the same time. Actually, no. One thing at one time only. So now, when you can check your attachment just by knowing it, then immediately let go. Every moment is a new moment. Don't try to pull back. The idea of I pull back my mind is you create a kind of unnecessary step in your mind. No need to have extra unnecessary step. Because every new moment is a fresh one. The moment you are aware of your wandering thought, it's over. Now is a fresh moment. So, every moment restart. Restart every moment. Pay attention. Like that. So now, in this way, you can do away with attachment. And now, if you focus, after you can focus easily, comfortably, without pressure. Let your breath come to you instead of chasing after it. Sometimes you chase after your breathing. You do like that. Oh, chase. No breath, no breathing. Why? Because you overshoot. Your attention overshoot. Where to find breathing? Breathing is always here. Only Brahma no breathing. Fourth jhana person no breathing. Dead people no breathing. Asanya Satta, the being without perception, suspended, there are no breathing. So, don't chase. If you suddenly feel, where's my breathing? Go back to the space practice. Empty. I do nothing. Then you notice immediately your breath comes back to you very easily. So don't chase after it. So no attachment. By doing the space practice is very helpful. And then, if you can, be more precise. Instead of focusing on the big area, smaller area. Slightly narrow down your attention point. That is very helpful to bring up the stronger concentration. Okay. So, practice precise, right aiming. Without attachment. So if you practice like that, that's very helpful for your success. And do it in a relaxed, happy way, as if you are naturally drawn to it, attracted to it. Okay. So that's all for tonight's talk. So anyway, tonight's talk mainly is for meditation, not really, but you apply the same principle in whatever your life that you are, in your aspect of your life. That will be helpful for you also. Okay. Idang me punyang asawakaya wahang hotu. Idang me punyang nibbana sapacayo hotu. Mama punya bagang sabba sattanang bhajemi. Te sabbe me samang punya bagang labantu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.